Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Mick, aka Why His Mick So Thick, coming at you with week one of Super Draft Bros Season 4 Catch These Iron Hands, aka Duos Season, aka National Dex Gen 9 uh, pre DLC, but we're also allowing aromatherapy and autotomize. This season, we are going to be drafting with, if we go over to the rosters, with our boy Chad. Chad, you can say hi. Just kidding. I couldn't figure out how to get his audio, so this is going to be post-recorded. Um, so this week we're taking on the No Shame in Losing team right here. They got Hatterene, Salamence, Bisharp, Chandelure, Seismitoad, Toedscruel, Toxicity, Rhyperior, Dachshund, Rabsca, and their Terra Captain, Dunsparce, which is always a scary threat. We have over here the Red Zone Wizards, because we always feeling it in the red zone. We got Latias, we got Clodsire, Buzzwole, Blacephalon, Primarina, Kilowattrel, Brute Bonnet, Claydol, Greedent, and Avalugg Hisui as our Terra Captain. We got a little mix of bulk, we got a little mix of sweep, and we got a little mix of meme. So let's check out our team for the first week. We got to start out with our Terra Captain, big-bodied Rick Ross. We went with Terra Water this week, just because it handles the Salamence pretty well. Even if it wanted to be mixed, we still take a Draco, and we absolutely smash that thing with Ice Spinner. We got Heavy Slam just in case they want to bring in Hatterene on it. We 2-KO that. Body Press so that Bisharp can't just set up on us and go to town. And then, of course, we got Recover to stay healthy. We got Rockin' Leftovers on this bad boy. So this is our main physical wall. He can handle anything. It just honestly beats all of their physical threats. Salamence, Bisharp, physical Seismitoad. Rhyperior does nothing to us. Dachshund does nothing to us, and we 2-KO that thing depending on its investment with Heavy Slam. Then we got AV Primarina. This is our initial check to most of their special threats. It can tank all kinds of hits. In our prep, at one point, Chad had some crazy weakness policy Chandelure set with Calm Mind that had gotten to +4, and it did 60% to our Primarina. So we're not worried about this Chandelure guy. It takes 50 to 60% from a non-specs Toxicity, and it's honestly not too worried about Hatterene either, outside of maybe a Nuzzle or something like that. And it's also got momentum to flip turn. This max special attack means that it's got a roll to Oko, Max Spadef, Seismitoad, and Moonblast just looks really good versus their whole team. Then we got Big Boy Buzz. If they bring Toedscruel, that's our guaranteed lead. We got our safety goggles. We can Drain Punch it twice to a KO it. We can Ice Punch it. Not worried about that thing at all. We got decent coverage for their whole team, so nothing can come in for free on Big Boy Buzz. We got our main sweeper for the week, Blacephalon. Shadow Ball Flamethrower catches basically their whole team. Outside of Super Spidef Rhyperior, it can take a hit. And then, everything else does not want to take Fire Move plus Fire Move. So if we can start to get this thing rolling, that would be sweet. We got Substitute plus Encore, which is really good if they try to be passive, if they try to Sucker Punch us with Bisharp. And then we can sub down to Selacberry if we need to outspeed a Scarfer or something like that. Then we got our boy Latias. If they're trying to set up with their Dunsparce some agility, Calm Mind, crazy set, if they're trying to start Calm Minding with Chandelure or something like that, we can come in, get that immediate mirror herb, and start blasting them with Psyshock. Aura Sphere is like a 50% roll on max HP Bisharp. With the investment we have, we guaranteed tank and adamant Sucker Punch. And then if things gotta get out of hand with Primarina, we can always just Healing Wish it back up with this thing. So this thing is a pretty big threat to them as well. Psyshock or Aura Sphere hits their whole team pretty hard. Outside of like Rabska and Hatterene, but we have some other options for those guys. And then our last boy, the best boy, Mr. Greedent. This is like our secondary check to Chandelure so that it can't just like spam Shadow Ball. Our Spadef investment means that we, like after Cheek Pouch Citrus Berry, we can take 2 Specs Modest Overheats, and then just like kill it with Earthquake. We got Seed Bomb. That just annihilates Seismitoad at +2. I think it 2-hit KOs max HP Rhyperior at +2. Earthquake hits the things that Body Slam and Seed Bomb can't hit. So this is pretty good coverage for this guy as well. So that's our team for the week. Let's check out the replay. So they definitely brought some stuff that Chad and I were not expecting. We were definitely expecting Hatterene to come because it's just, really bothersome with Magic Bounce, with Nuzzle. It's like 2 stabs are really annoying to set, to switch into. Even Mystical Fire is annoying. We definitely expected the Chandelure because we don't have super great switch-ins to that thing. We expected Seismitoad. We expected Dunsparce. We expected Salamence and Bisharp. But we were definitely a little surprised by Dachsbun. We were a little bit surprised by Toxicity. But, we had some options for that. So going off into the lead, we were definitely expecting them to either lead off with Seismitoad to try to get some rocks up, Toxicity just because we didn't have a ground type out, so they could just, free Volt Switch. And since they didn't bring Chandelure, our Greedent was, not super necessary. So we just said, okay, let's lead off with Greedent, and if they lead with Toxicity, we can just Swords Dance. If they lead with Seismitoad, we can just hit that thing with a Seed Bomb and 2-hit KO. Otherwise, we can switch into our respective check. Like if they lead Salamence, we know we can smash that thing with Avalugg. If they lead with Bisharp, we know that Buzzwole takes a +2 Iron Head or it takes a +2 Aerial Ace, so we're not too worried about that thing either. So they did end up... Oh, that's really slow. So they did end up with... I'm just going to go to normal. They did end up leading with Toxicity, and they went for a Volt Switch as we were kind of expecting. They go into their Salamence as we hit the Swords Dance. So at this point, we're like, okay, well, it doesn't really matter what they do. We can live even a Banded Outrage. Is like a roll to kill a Banded Outrage at this point, and then if we need to, like Greedent's fine. We can just go hard into Primarina because they're locked into it, and Moonblast just smashes something. So we're like, okay, we'll just stay in. We'll just Body Slam. If we get a para, then we're looking good. So they end up Dragon Dancing in our face, underestimating the Greedy Boy. We do 56%. They have to save this thing. They go into their Dachsbun. So this Dachsbun is Rocky Helmet, but we did the calc, and this thing is max Spadef, probably to try to check the Blacephalon. And we were like, dang, that did massive damage. So at this point, we were kind of thinking what to do here. They might switch out. They might just wish. They might yawn. So we were like, oh, the most we can get out of this situation is just Body Slamming. If they switch out, we have a chance of para. If they go into Toxicity, it's doing like 70%. So like they're not really getting much out of that. And then even like no matter what, we're getting hit by the Rocky Helmet, we're getting our Citrus Berry, we're getting our Cheek Pouch, we're getting basically back up to full here. So they actually go for the Wish. We go for the Body Slam. Still no para. What's up with that? But we get back up to full. They go for a Protect. On that prediction, we go for another Swords Dance. So the reason we go for Swords Dance here is because no matter what they go into, it can't immediately threaten to kill us from full. And then if we're at +3, then we can basically OHKO anything from there. And then if they go for Protect, then they have to switch out into something into a +3 hit. So that's exactly what they do. They actually sack the Salamence to try to get one more Intimidate off as we go for the Body Slam. Then they go into their Terra Captain to Dunsparce, and they go for a Glare. Oh! They're kind of just going for para flinch hacks here. So we really needed to break through here, and we do. And we do about 59%. Really hoping for a para here because that would help a lot. We weren't 100% sure what set they were at this point, so we just wanted to play safe. We were +2 on Greedent. The only thing that would have been bad is if they were like Terra Ghost and started setting up, but we thought that was kind of a little unlikely at this point. So then we wanted to watch what they were going to do one more time. They go for Air Slash, flinch. They go for Air Slash again, flinch. Oh my goodness, we're like, oh shoot, okay. We know that Primarina takes nothing from these Air Slashes, so if they flinch us one more time, we can just go out into that and then, Moonblast, take the Glare, go from there. But then the greedy boy breaks through at the perfect time to knock out this Dunsparce. Then they go into Toxtricity. Since they are Scarf, if they're Modest Scarf, this guaranteed kills. Toxtricity, Choice Scarf, Greedent. If they were Modest, that's like a solid roll to kill. If they're Timid, that's like basically high roll or max roll to kill that Greedent. We were kind of hoping for another one of these, or maybe one of these. But unfortunately, Greedent does go down. At this point, we're like, they're definitely Scarf. So we can just go into our Blacephalon and hit a Shadow Ball. We 2-hit KO this Seismitoad. And then they double back into Toxtricity. Just kind of probably just surprised by this. And then they kind of threaten us with a Scarf hit. At this point, we could take an Overdrive if we wanted to. But that would put us at like 10%, and then we can't really do our, like we would get our Selacberry, but we can't really do our, like our substitute stuff that we wanted to do against Bisharp. I guess we could still do it if we wanted to, but it just makes it a little bit scarier because you're not actually getting your substitute. So at this point we thought, it was pretty safe to just go out into Latias. We take basically nothing from Overdrive, and then we can see if it's locked in or not, and we basically 2-hit KO anything off switch. So that's exactly what they do. They make a nice little double into Bisharp, but they immediately get punished because we just go for the Aura Sphere and OHKO, which is pretty sweet. Then they go into their Dachsbun. At this point, they need to heal up their guys, and we can just go into Primarina and threaten OHKOs on, or not OHKOs, but like KOs from here on both Seismitoad and Toxtricity. We're just basically trying to deny them from getting anything back up to like being healthy enough to be a threat. So they go into Seismitoad hoping that we Scald on the Water Absorb and we just kill that thing. We know we can take an Overdrive here, 57%, kill it with Moonblast. And then at this point, if we wanted to, we could just 2-hit KO Dachsbun here, but we kind of wanted to flex our sets a little bit. So we show off the substitute, show off the Encore. I don't know what moves they had on this Dachsbun, But if if they're not like crunch or something like that, they can't really break through. And unless they're like a special move, Avalugg just smashes them from there, and they can't really stay healthy enough. So that was the game right there. Just hit the Shadow Ball, knock them out, get a nice little 5-0 to start the week, or to start the season, actually. And then let's check out our schedule. We are facing AB next week, who is the Alolan Boys. So look forward to us facing the Alolan Boys in week 2. Thanks for watching.